let's read with me. Yo! 30 minutes reading section. Let's get started. So, the book I'm reading right now is called The User's Guide to the Human Mind. So it's about how to control your emotion, how to manage your own emotions and all those anxiety and all those thoughts that you're having, because this research show that in one day people will have tens of thousands of thoughts in a day, and that's the reason why a lot of people they have a lot of anxiety, they have a lot of stress, because we just constantly thinking new stuff. We're constantly our mind, our brains working on a constant basis, and that's the reason why it is very important for you to really master your own human mind, to know how it works, and so that when you know how it works, you can you can have better management on it. Because a lot of time people, they lack of knowledge, they lack of excuse me, they lack the knowledge to realize how our human brain works, and that's the reason why a lot of time they just get controlled by those human brain. And so what I've just read for the pages is that it's really important, it's all about how to get rid of instant gratification, because it is the reason why most people fail in their life is they are just constantly chasing for their instant gratification. And that's the reason why you can see a lot of business such as Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, they're getting more and more revenue every single year. Is because they make use of those instant gratification. And that's the reason why a lot of business, they're using this technology such as the Facebook pages, the app, the app on our mobile phones, is that they can just trigger our instant gratification so that we can get instant reward instead of the long-term reward. And that's the reason why most people, they cannot achieve success in their life, is because they're chasing for that instant gratification. And for the difference between the successful people and unsuccessful people is that the successful people, they don't chase for the instant gratification. They look at the long-term reward, and that's the reason why they won't spend time on TV show, they don't spend time on the video games, they don't spend time on going to party. They know exactly what they want in their life, and they know the long-term goals that they have set, and they just put in the work every single day, because they don't chase for the instant gratification. They know how the human brain, our human brains works. And that's the reason why I've just read about how can we get rid of the bad habits of instant gratification, is that we don't need to suppress our thoughts of not doing something, because a lot of times the more we try to suppress our own emotion and thoughts, the more difficult for us to avoid those behaviors. For example, if you want to suppress yourself not to play video games, your thoughts just constantly thinking video games, and you just put all your focus on video games. So where the focus go, the energy flow and the results show. And so when the moment that you try to, yes, you're thinking, oh, I don't want to play video games, I want to stop playing video games. And when the moment that you focus on this word, video games, and that's the moment that your energy is flowing to that direction, and you become more and more difficult to stop playing video games, to what you're thinking is playing video games. Because just let me try it, right? If I tell you don't think a pink elephant, what are you thinking right now? You think a pink elephant. So it's all about how do you direct and channel your own attention away from what you don't want to do or what you want to do. And that's the reason why it's the best way to get rid of instant gratification is to change, is to switch your own attention. Instead of paying attention to, oh, I don't want to play video games, I want to stop playing video games, I want to stop watching TV, I want to stop eating junk food. Instead of paying attention to what you don't want to do, is the best way to deal with it. To get rid of those instant gratification of eating junk food or playing video games, watching TV show. What you can do is to direct your attention to other things that you want to do. For example, you direct your attention to other things that except playing video games, except watching TV, except going to party, except eating junk food. For example, the moment that you start to realize, when you realize that your brain is commanding you, I want that, I want that candy, I want that ice cream, I want that video game. Okay, that's the moment when you realize that you first accept it. Instead of trying to get rid of it, instead of trying to ignore it, try to accept that first. Accept your own thought first, and the moment that you accept it, then you can direct your attention to other things that you want to do. For example, you can sing for a while if you don't want to play video games. If there's junk food right in front of you, you can do something else. You can do Sudoku, right? You can do whatever you want except the thing that you don't want to do. And it's very interesting when we start to transfer our attention to the things that we don't from the things that we don't want to do to the things that it doesn't matter, that I just can do it or I can do it. Don't do it, and you can just direct your attention to other things, that you don't just focus on the things that you don't want to do. No. So yeah, that's thing that I want to mention after I read for something. And something there's a really good analogy for you to stop instant gratification is that imagine your thoughts as some dog. They're just barking, they're just shouting, whoa, 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 right? And then you don't need to give any response to it. It is in your room. The dogs are in your room. They're just barking for your, I want that candy, I want that video game. You just imagine those thoughts as the dogs in your room. They just keep shouting, and you are the master. And then you don't need to give any response to those shouting from the dog. You can just ignore it, and then do your own stuff. For example, you keep reading, you keep doing your homework, you keep working on your business, and that's a very good way to to accept your thoughts and help you to stop your instant gratification. Yep. And through practice, the more you do it, the more you delay your instant gratification, the easier you will become to delay those instant gratification. It's just like working on a muscle. The more you practice, the more you go to gym, go to workout, to practice, the easier that you become to delay those instant gratification, so that you have more willpower and to go against with those instant gratification. Okay, this the first way for you to direct your attention from your instant gratification, from those junk food, from video games, from TV show, from going to party or whatever bad habits that you're having right now, is to first let yourself get some rest, for yourself to relax, take a deep breath, and then get rid, change your environment. Because a lot of times, our behaviors are triggered by our environment. So imagine you can just recall for any memory that you have, whenever that you go to your room that have computer games, when you try to get rid of computer games game addiction, you cannot, because your behaviors are triggered. Your memory, subconscious mind just tell you whenever you go to your own room, you're going to play video games, and that's the reason why it becomes so difficult for you to stop that bad habits, because the environment dictates what's your behavior. And that's the reason why a lot of time, if you want to change, if you want to delay that instant gratification, you need to change your own environment. So when you start to change your environment, when you get out of your room, you will have a more time for you to think, change from your emotional mind to the rational mind, so that you don't just get controlled by your own emotion, by the emotion that you want to play video games, but you change to a more rational mind that, oh, you know what's your goal, you know what's the things that you want to achieve in your life. And that's the moment that you start to get back those control of your self-discipline or willpower. And that's the first way for you to stop the instant gratification. Yes, and the second way is called stop the car. I want to leave the car. So what does it mean? Is that it's pretty interesting. Is that a lot of time we try to get rid of those bad habits, right? The moment that you try to stop playing video games, the moment you want to stop eating those junk food, a lot of time we still do it. The moment that we fail to delay those intoxication, the moment that we eat the first bite of the candy, the ice cream, the cake, when the moment that we go to start the first game, right? When you try to stop playing video games, a lot of time you start to tell yourself, oh, I wanted to get rid of video game addiction. I want to quit eating junk food, but I still do it. So let's just screw it, right? Let's just screw it, and let's just I don't care. I just get rid of those bullshit, and then I just go to eat those junk food, go to eat those ice cream, go to play video games, go to watch TV shows, and then you just screw up, for your whole week or whole month or whole year, or even your whole life. And that's the reason why a lot of time when you face this circumstance, you have to realize that you can change at any moment, and you have to stop yourself. The moment that you realize that, oh, what the hell, I've screwed up. I didn't want to do it, but I still do it. It's the moment that you can realize that it doesn't matter what you have done. What matter is what you're going to do next. So you have to tell yourself, right at the moment that you are going to watch the TV show, you're going to play the video game, it's the moment that you are eating those junk food, tell yourself, stop the car and I'm going to leave, right? You can stop, can change at any moment. So that's the second way. So the third way to delay instant gratification is to change a really big goal to very tiny small goals, to a lot of tiny small and many small goals. So, it is easy to accomplish. It don't occupy for a lot of time, and that's the moment that you don't need to use a lot of willpower, because a lot of time we want to get develop our good habits. We want to go to gym, but a lot of time we just lack those willpower, because it requires a lot of willpower to do such a very large things. The moment that for a person that doesn't do gym at all, when you set a goal to go to gym every single day, that's the moment that you got so overwhelmed, and that's the moment that that it requires so much willpower, and most people lack of it, and that's the reason why they fail to follow through. And when the moment that you change, you just break it down, break the big goal down to all those tiny little goals that you can achieve, you can feel the instant reward for yourself, and that's help you to get the big things done. For example, if you want to go to the gym, you can set every single day a very easy goal to put your shoe in front, right next to your bed. You can just put your shirts, put your all those equipment ready, and that's those tiny goals that you set and you accomplish it, you can get instant rewards. And the more you do it, you can do it step by step. The one goes down, the one goes, another goes down, another go, another go, and the more you break those down, it creates a domino effect for you to keep doing it. And that's the moment that you realize that, oh, I go to the gym. And that's another way for you to delay instant gratification. It's not really about delay instant gratification, but it's more about use instant gratification for you to achieve big goal. Okay, let's get some rest.